Welcome back everyone to Angler Carl. Now in this episode today of how to method feed a fish, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how you can catch bigger fish, because let's be honest, sometimes a lot of people these days want to catch bigger and better fish. Now I am sorry I've not done an episode sooner. I've been a bit wrapped up in moving house and doing different stuff like that. So first, and probably the most important thing ever that I've got of catching big fish on the method feeder is choose the right venue. It is very important, and there's a load of different venues out there where you can catch big fish. For example, you're not going to go to a venue that you know doesn't have big fish in. Now I'm currently here at Ravenfield Ponds today on the Bridge Pond. This is going to lead nicely into my second point that I want to make, is fish a venue that you know is quite easy. Here on Ravenfield Ponds, on Bridge Pond, this is quite a tough lake. It is a natural water venue and it can be quite tough. However, I did manage a lovely, nice mirror carp, and it was an absolute stunning fish, and it was well worth the wait. And to be honest with you, the fishing has been good today. Unfortunately, I did have a bite recently, but lost it out to the reeds. So yeah, that is my other top tip, is make sure you go to a venue that's nice and easy to fish, because as well, that will motivate you into doing fishing. Because when you get into method feeder fishing, you know, you want to have it a bit easy, you know, you want to give yourself the best chance of essentially catching a big fish, and that to me is what's important. And also, I do want to reiterate what I said about point number one. There is lots of ways you can find out what venues hold big fish, such as the Angling Times, YouTube, tackle shops are another one, ask people. And then the next thing I would do is research on the venue. So see what size carp they have in it, because you can't beat researching a venue to see what type of fish are in there. There's just actually been a carp top just around there. So yeah, that is my best advice. Research it first in magazines, YouTube, different stuff like that, and then ask in tackle shops, and then also search on the internet, because you can't beat searching the internet. A lot of fisheries will have websites where you can go on there, and normally it tells you what they're stocked with. Some fisheries, from past experience that I've found, can generally be a bit out of date. So normally they'll say these £15 carp in, and them £15 carp are now probably £20. And also, I'm going to give you lot a few recommendations in this video. So then, my recommendations for fisheries that I've personally fished myself and had double figures out of. Number one, Holcroft Fisheries at Retford. That fishery is amazing. I had a nice £8 ghosty. That was an absolute amazing fish. To any beginner, that would make them want to come back for the foreseeable. And then I had a double figure as well. And also I would recommend Sherwood Forest Fisheries as well. That venue is stacked full of fish. Now when I went, it was a red hot summer's day, so unfortunately we only managed to catch bream and some nice F1s. However, the bream in there are amazing and they're absolutely stunning. But I did see koi carp in there, which I was just blown away by. I did see some big fish on the surface, so there's definitely some monsters in there. Lindholm Lakes is another good one. I hear there's some massive stuff in there. I've never fished it myself, it's somewhere that I do need to personally fish. And there's loads more. Aston Park Fisheries is another good one. Lily Lake, there's some big giants in there. So to be honest with you, there is loads and loads of amazing venues where you can catch big fish. The next point I want to talk about, and it's a very important one, is bait. What are you going to be using on the method feeder. Now for me, this is going to vary from person to person. I love wafters. I think there's nothing better than wafters for catching big carp. Some people will have different opinions, but I'm going to get into a bit more detail about bait because to me it's an important one. So then, when it comes to bait, I have all sorts of different kinds of wafters. Now these are dynamite bait wowzers. I've not actually tried these yet. I need to sort out some hook lengths to get these on, and these are a 9mm wafter, so they're a very, very big wafter. Always make sure you use the right size hook as well to balance everything out. This recommends a size 10 to 12, and that's what's very helpful about these dynamite ones, is that they do recommend the hook size on the side of the tub. And get different colours, you know, get various such as orange, purple, green. It don't hurt to try different colours. For example, I'm going to give an example. Today I was using the Bait-Tech 5mm wafters, and I switched over onto the Aquastim Scorpex ones, and they've been doing absolutely brilliant. Now unfortunately I've not brought my 7mm ones, and a lot of people mention that to catch bigger fish you need bigger hook baits. Now that's not always the truth. I've had it in the past where I've caught a big fish on a small hook bait. For example, I was using a little Sonia Bait Special Spiker on holiday at Fendix Fishery and caught, I think it was like an 8-9 pounder. It was crazy. The only thing I will say about small hook baits is that you sort of can get the little fish as well, because at the end of the day, if that fish can fit the hook bait in its mouth, it will go for it. So my advice, if you do really want to catch the big fish, go for like a 7mm wafter, a 9mm, an 8mm. Go for something big and beefy, such as like these dynamite ones, or the 7mm in the Aquastim, which I will be doing a video on them at some point, so stay tuned for that. A few baits that I do want to mention is Peperami. That can be lethal for big fish. It's not something I fish myself. And then you've got things like bread, if you know, a lot of people have caught big carp on the surface with it. But as you lot know, I'm not the biggest fan of surface fishing. It just don't really do out for me. So yeah, Peperami is a good one. Sweet corn can have its day as well. Sweet corn can be amazing. And then also, who can forget pellets? Pellets can catch you big carp, and they're a nice natural bait that will always do very well. And I definitely recommend the Dynamite Baits Robin Red pellets. They are awesome, them things. If you research a venue, go to a venue that you know is massively stocked with decent sized carp, you won't go far wrong. And then make sure you take plenty of bait with you know, big wafters, 7mm, 8mm. You could even take boilies, but I prefer wafters, especially on the method feeder. That's just me personally. And then always do your research. Ask people, magazines, YouTube, different things like that. It always helps to do your research beforehand, and then that way you know what you're getting yourself into. And I guess a little bonus tip as well is be patient, folks. You know, fishing's not easy, and especially when you're going for big fish, that's not easy. Sometimes you can have them red letter days and it seems easy, but believe you me, it can be really difficult. Like I said, we have had a bit of a fantastic day here today at Ravenfield Ponds on Bridge. We had, like I said, we had that nice mirror, which was just amazing, and we've had, I believe, 4 other fish, and we've ended up losing two or three. So it has been a crazy day. And then when it's not going right, it's just one of those things. It is what it is. I believe there will be 2 more episodes of this guide that I've done, and like I said, this video has been a bit late just because I've been really busy with different things and that, so I do apologise in advance. And if you have any questions, get them in the comment section below. Say if maybe you're struggling to target a big fish, get it in the comments below and I'll do my best to reply to every comment and help you lot out. But for me, they are the main things. If you lot have anything in the description box below, then help each other out in the comments. And as well, apart from the obvious, like looking around at the lake and looking for big carp jumping, you know, that's always a useful thing to do. Don't just rush and set up in the first peg. Like today at Ravenfield Ponds, I noticed them over this far bank, right here with these reeds. I noticed them jumping, and also they've been jumping from around here, so I knew that was happening. So what I did, I set up in this peg, I didn't just rush. So always have a good look at what's going off out there, and that will be a big help as well to find out where the fish are, because you know, you have got to be on them as well. You can do everything right, such as bait right, cast right, but ultimately, if you're not in the right spot, you're not going to get them. But yeah, my favourite tip in this one is choose the right venue. Like I said, Holcroft would be my #1 choice, because there's some massive carp in the air. I think there's about 7 lakes on the complex. It's just a great place for catching a double figure fish. And yeah, but I'm sure there'll be some around you lot. And then maybe you can go to some more difficult venues once you've built up a bit of confidence. And that is pretty much it for this short episode. Like I say, it is a bit of a short one. You know, it's definitely an important one when doing your method feeder fishing. If you want to catch them bigger fish, try these tips and it should definitely get you some bigger fish. And leave a like on it, share this video around with anyone that you know wants to catch them bigger carp, because I think it'll help them. Subscribe to my channel, I upload new fishing videos every single week. And if you're fishing on the method feeder, have a good one.